what it means to be a business is changing.
And so though you've experienced change in your business before, this is a new beast. And AI is a tool to be able to handle that rate of change.
I'm here with Allie K. Miller, one of my favorite AI leaders.
In my view, when it comes to making sense of the impact of AI at work and beyond, the most compelling voice on LinkedIn is Allie's.
I started in AI nearly 20 years ago. In my work at AWS, I was running the machine learning strategy for 400,000 global startups. The biggest thing that I'm seeing is that these top companies are not just building AI products, right? It's not just the frosting on the cake. It is literally baked into the flour of the cake. Machine learning is at the core of everything that they're doing.
So there's this move toward an AI-first business. You cannot just have the executives sitting in this wonderful room hearing what is happening in AI. Everyone in your company needs to know.
We've seen this for years before. The difference is the speed and scale. This is all about moving AI upstream, right? So it's not just this last mile where you kind of sprinkle it on the end. It's not that frosting. How are you as a next-gen business growing your revenue and not just cutting costs? Because the world of business is going to look completely different in 5 years. And you need to have partners on your side that know how to handle that today.
Let's give a warm welcome to Allie K. Miller. Good job. Crush it.
Oh, man. This is incredible. Thank you so much for having me, Dean and Tony. And I promise that this is not the same jacket that I was wearing in my headshot. It's a totally different brown jacket. Let's talk about being an AI-first entrepreneur and how you can take advantage of this moment to be able to build a business in the AI age. As I mentioned in that early video, I started in AI almost 20 years ago. And I can tell you that I wake up with some acid reflux in the morning because of the number one most important thing to know about AI. And that is not one specific tool, not one specific product or platform. The number one thing to know is the pace of change. Now, Zach Cass mentioned some of these top moments, but I'm going to also give you my take on this. The first really big shift that is happening is that the cost is dropping. Depending on the model or the task, the average cost drop year over year is between 9x and 900x. And now a lot of people are looking at this and they go, amazing, I can cut my budgets. Amazing, I don't have to spend anything on these platforms. There are so many brand new use cases that are opening up because of this cost drop. As one example, my team has built out a simulation platform so that if we ask it a question, it'll come up with 10,000 potential solutions and score and rank all them. You can't do that if every single one of those costs $10, but you can if it costs fractions of a cent. The second big pace of change, and again, Zach mentioned this because we're all seeing the same benchmarks and all freaking out about the same things. It is how long of a task AI can take on. AI used to be doubling in that task length every 7 months. We are now doubling about every 4 to 5 months. I want to give you kind of these two big takeaways, right? Graphs can only share so much. Why should you actually care about this? Number one, the cost of intelligence is dropping to near zero. That is unbelievable for you guys. That means that access to these tools, access to intelligence, is wide open. You can grab it just like every top business out there. That also means that if everyone can grab it, how are you standing out in your business? And the second shift that I want to make sure people hear is AI agents, i.e. AI that can do stuff for us, AI that can reason through its own steps and take action. These agents are going to be able to work more than a full day in the next 12 months. When an AI system can work for a full day without you interrupting it, without you saying, hey, can I check your work? When it's able to work for a full day, all of a sudden, it can also delegate out to other agents. And so that is going to be a very big hockey stick moment that you guys now know is coming, likely in the next year. Now, as I look at all of these shifts that are happening, the good news for all of you is that what it means to be an entrepreneur hasn't changed. It still takes some risk. It still takes that intuition, that taste, that creativity. The change that is happening right now and that has been kind of evolving over the last 3 years, and we're about to be in this really big hockey stick moment, it's how you do it that has changed. It's how you take advantage of this moment, how you combine your resources, your creativity, your audience, your experience, and turn it into value. Now, I'm very excited to kind of share how I think about an AI-first business. And I'm going to give you some real use cases. So if you guys have not yet done this with Igor's talk, please, for the love of Dean and Tony, open up your laptops so that you can start screenshotting some of these prompts that I share and immediately testing this. So open up Claude, ChatGPT, I don't care. Open up your laptop in a different tab, keep me in one tab, and let's get going. An AI-first business can be broken out into 3 Ps. The first is people. How are you supercharging yourself as a business leader? Maybe you have people on your team. How are you supercharging them? The second P is process. How are you able to get some of these back office operations done that much more efficiently? How are you able to make decisions that much more efficiently? And the last is product. Now, a lot of people, when they think of product, they think, okay, software that we scale out, like Pinterest or Airbnb platforms. No, the product for many of you is you. Igor mentioned this. How are you going to scale yourself as the product? So I'm going to give you some use cases for each of these categories. The first is people. So I believe Igor mentioned this as well. We're going to do some deep research, but we're going to actually do it in agent mode inside of ChatGPT. In the bottom left, we're going to switch it into agent mode. And I'm going to say, I am launching a brand new boutique wellness center in Seattle. Grab me best practices from places outside of Seattle, right? The old way of doing this, you would have to spend weeks researching this. But we're going to say, grab best practices, tell me what people are buying in the space, scan forums, tell me what they're terrified of telling their grandma, tell me what they're terrified of telling their kids. By the way, this is like my favorite way of prompting AI because it always gets to like the meat of a persona. And so I'm going to ask this question. Now, in agent mode, they're going to spin up a virtual computer. And it is going to start kind of working on your behalf. It's as if like an intern is in another room with its own laptop. So it spins up a virtual computer, starts doing the search. It finds something about deprivation flotation tanks in Austin, which has been on my bucket list for a while, in case anyone has any advice of where to do that in New York. But I'm going to be able to have the AI agent read through this. And then it is going to give me back this report after it has worked for 14 minutes, scanning the internet, finding these best practices. It gets me back this report. It tells me about Seattle. It tells me about hydrotherapy and what I can learn from that and what I can bring into my business. It cites all of it. Next time you're bored, next time you're lounging by the beach, print out this report and read it. You're going to get so much smarter, so much faster. Now, I had to prompt for this. And one thing that I think a lot of entrepreneurs feel bogged down by is the fact that every single thing in your business is bottlenecked by you. Nothing happens in your business unless you do it, unless you respond to an email, unless you call a customer, unless you figure out how to launch something new. We need to make sure that AI is able to start tasks for us. So in the bottom, we are going to now schedule this prompt, so that every single 6th of the month, i.e. today, it is going to be able to run that research for me. You can run research on your competitors every single day. You can run research on your industry every month. You can get a download of the newest news in quantum physics every year, whatever makes you happy. But start to think about how to remove yourself as a literal bottleneck in your own business. Let me give you another example. I did a very weird thing, which is I went to Madison Square Park in New York, and I decided to sit there for 5 hours and teach people AI. It was terrifying. Not as terrifying as talking to hundreds of thousands of people live, but pretty close. So I meet a 45-year-old man, not in this photo. I meet a 45-year-old man, and he comes up to me and he tells me that he hates his job. His boss is micromanaging him. He wants to get the heck out of there. And I said, what's your dream? What do you want to do? He says, I want to launch a meditation platform. I want to have a meditation channel on YouTube. And I go, great. What does it even look like? Who's doing that today? Are there 5 people in this space, 5 million people in this space? What is the landscape? And he goes, I have no idea. And I go, let's do it together. We open up Claude. I type in, go ahead, scour the internet, pull back a bunch of data, do some data entry for me, put it together, tell me how many channels there are, how often are they posting, tell me the description of their channel. And in only a couple of minutes, I get a full landscape grab, a full market scan on exactly the thing that I want to do. Now, I can take this as additional context. I can ask AI, how do I stand out in this space? I can ask AI, here's my 5 things that I've tried before. What have I not tried to be able to gain footing in this space? And let me give you one last example inside of People. This, do not screenshot this. This is a terrible, horrific AI prompt. This is a bad prompt. Why? It gave no detail about who I am, what I want, what my goals are, what my fears are. All I said was, write a blog post about how hard it is to start an agency. And what I also hate about this is that it's telling my story, right? What is hard about starting an agency? That should be my view. So instead, I am going to draft my own blog post, and we're going to use AI to improve quality. It's not just doing work for us. We're not lazily offloading and abusing these AI systems. We're going to have it improve our work. So I'm giving it this blog post. I say, hey, review it from the POV of this potential person. Score it on creativity, on intuition, on value, and give me ways to improve it if the score is below 5 on any of these things. I say, help me think of analogies. Maybe I want to visualize this blog post in a way that I would have never been able to do. So I ask for these analogies. I'm asking for more forethought. I'm asking for action. I say, how do I make this go viral on Reddit? How do I tap into the right communities? And so again, it did not write the blog post. I came in with my emotion. I came in with my learnings, my business value, and I gave AI several tasks to improve my work and improve the performance of that post. And I get back all this improvement advice. It's going to tell me to get even more tactical with business. It is going to give me very specific examples. Hey, create bullet point readers for those busy readers. It gives me the exact breakdown of those Reddit forums that I can immediately grab. And I could even start to say, okay, pull me together a spreadsheet with all the links. Pull me together the draft for these posts that should go along with my post. Convert my blog post into a Reddit post. There's so many ways to take this. But again, the big takeaway, yes, it will help you be more productive, but it will also help you make better things and turn the work you're already doing into greater performance to have greater impact. Let's go into process. Now, I worked with a startup, and I heard the most shocking thing, which was that they have millions of users, but because of AI helping them in their customer support processes, they only have to spend 15 minutes a day on customer support. Now, I'm going to show you a screenshot. This is an automation platform. This is a little bit more of an advanced workflow, and I know that some of you are just getting started. Whatever you're doing, I just want you to push one step more. So if you're not here yet, I completely understand. You'll get there in about a week, and I can't wait to see you there. But this is a platform called Make. You can build out automations. This is an automation that my team has built out that takes in emails that we get into our support channel, summarizes them, drafts the response based on 50 other common responses we have, summarizes it, puts it in our Slack, scores it based on urgency, tags the right person. This, because I was just learning the platform, took me 4 hours. If you copy exactly what I have on the screen, it's going to take you a couple minutes. There are so many things that we can do that we don't have to be experts in. I don't want to be an expert on customer support. I want to be a helpful person, but I need to spend more of my business time educating the world on AI and working with Fortune 500 CEOs on their strategy. That is what I need to be focused on. So think about things that are pulling you out of your zone of genius and how you can use AI to help there. Let me give you another example. This is something called Claude Code. Again, this is going to be a bit more advanced. As you're thinking about processes that you have in your work, how can you think of net new interfaces? And so I go into Claude Code and I say, I am bogged down in SOWs. I am bogged down in invoices. If I have to look at one more contract, I think I'm going to pull my hair out. So I go to Claude Code and I say, make me a new interface that allows me to just copy and paste in an entire email thread. I don't want to clean it. I don't want to copy. I don't want to grab it. Just let me messily grab this whole thing, throw it in, and then you convert it into an SOW and an invoice that I can download, grab, send to a customer. That process used to take hours, now minutes. So I ask for that. It codes up a brand new web app just for me. Did I have to code in any part of this? Absolutely not. I coded when dinosaurs roamed the earth. I don't have to code right now. And so I'm asking Claude Code to build this out. You can see on the right-hand side, I drop in that email thread between George Clooney and Alanis Morissette because I was feeling nostalgic yesterday. And so George Clooney is selling Alanis Morissette acting lessons, even though she doesn't need it. We type in this whole email thread. We get back a kind of messy markdown scope of work and invoice. You can see in the top, it's giving me the option to download each of these. I download it. And again, within 2 minutes, I get a beautifully designed scope of work document that I can go back and forth. I can ask for edits. And I also get a perfect looking invoice. I could customize the colors, I could customize the layout, I can go back and forth with it for weeks, I can add unicorns dancing on it, whatever I want to do, but I did not have to code to be able to code to make that happen. These systems that can code are not just for engineers. You guys are brilliant. The fact that you're here, the fact that you signed up, the fact that you took time out of your schedule to learn about AI tells me that you're going to be proactive enough to take advantage of this moment. Do not let the word code scare you away from something that can meaningfully shift your business. Last section is product. Now, I'm going to give you a few examples here. And again, behind the scenes, a lot of this is going to be code-based. But I need you to start hearing the word code and translate it into your head as solution. Every time you hear the word code, you're not going to think about a nerd in a basement who's a software engineer who hasn't changed shirts in 5 days. You are going to think of you taking control and helping yourself make solutions in your business. So my team, we wanted to launch a brand new lead gen. I'd always wanted to launch this like online quiz. And so we used a tool like Lovable. You can use Claude Code. You can use Replit. I know Replit will be speaking at this summit as well. And we built out a fun little quiz that helped people better understand whether they were AI first. We built all of this in Lovable. We made an impact. We helped tens of thousands of people. And again, it's because of platforms like this. We couldn't do this 3 years ago. Another example. Now, this looks like it's a photo of me. But I think you already teased this out. This is not real Allie. This is actually Avatar Allie. And I get really thrown off when people use these like video avatars to have really important tier 1 customer conversations. I would not recommend it there. Recommend it for the long tail of action. How can I use my twin to scale myself out to help business professionals everywhere that maybe can't afford me for long-term one-on-one? Maybe I need to sleep, and so I need to find better ways of scaling myself. So in a couple minutes, I was able to record an avatar of myself. There are many platforms where you can do this. And so now I have this video AI avatar. I can type anything in the script. There's an Easter egg in that script in case you want to read it on your own. And I can even turn it into a quiz. So as we're thinking about this way of educating the world, how can I use my avatar to scale that? How can I use my avatar to dial up the amount of engagement that I can have? How can I think more multimodally, more globally to help more people? Again, I'm still the one coming up with this quiz. I'm still the one helping and writing and improving the script. It's the way that it gets distributed that has changed. One last use case here. This is from a coach that I was working with. This person realized that the main problem that she was dealing with was not the number of leads. She was getting tons of leads. The actual bottleneck was her ability to deal with those leads, was her ability to manage intake. And so we designed an AI solution around that, where she built out a key AI author interview, and she also built out an entire AI twin so that she could scale herself. She was, again, going to test small. This is really important in AI. Test small, especially when it deals with trust and people. She was able to 3x her revenue because she went from 12 clients to 30 because she was able to handle that scale with AI. She still meets with them one-on-one. It's just that intake that has been offloaded. As we wrap up, I want you to remember that as you're thinking about people, process, and product, the advice that I want to leave you with, people, figure out those repeated workflows so that you as a solopreneur can find the 20% of a marketer, of an assistant, of a salesperson, whatever you need, so that you don't necessarily need to hire 11 people, you can scale yourself. In process, I want you to think about code as a solution and think about potential new interfaces that are just for you, just your own internal web app that can help you scale a lot of your back office processes. And of course, in product, you are the brains, you are the empathy and the genius that are in your business. How can you use AI as a means of scalability? I'm sure every single person is going to say this at some point today and tomorrow and the next day, but I mean it when I say I believe this is the greatest time in history to start a company. Maybe also in like railroad time, but maybe this is tied for first place. The playbook of how these things are built, the playbook of who wins, the playbook of success is burning up in flames. The system that has held people back is no longer holding those same people back, and you have the opportunity to do more in the next 3 months than most people have been able to do in years. I want you to start thinking about code as a solution and lean into these moments, lean into new workflows that you're going to hear over the next 3 days, and remember to not underestimate this moment. This is it. I am so excited that you guys have the best speakers in the world in this space. Again, thank you to Dean and Tony, and I can't wait to see what you guys build. Thank you.